Good morning, beloved. We're going to continue our Bible learnings with the book of Daniel. We're going to start with Daniel 1 on today. And it says, Daniel is trained in Babylon. It was the third year that Jehoiakim was the king of Judah. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. His army surrounded the city and attacked it. The Lord handed Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, over to him. Nebuchadnezzar also took some of the objects from God's temple. He carried them off to the temple of his God in Babylon. He put them among the treasures of his God. The king gave Ashpenaz an order. Ashpenaz was the chief of Nebuchadnezzar's court officials. The king told him to bring some of the Israelites. The king wanted them to serve him in his court. He wanted nobles and men from royal families. He was looking for young men who were healthy and handsome. They had to be able to learn anything. They had to be well educated, and they had to have the ability to understand new things quickly and easily. The king wanted them who could serve in his palace. Ashpenaz was supposed to teach them the Babylonian language and writings. The king had his servants give them food and wine from his own table. They received a certain amount every day. The young men to be trained 3 years. After that, they could begin to serve the king. Some of the men chosen from Judah, their names were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. The chief officials gave them new names. He gave Daniel the name Belshazzar. He gave Hananiah the name Shadrach. And he gave Mishael the name Meshach. And he gave Azariah the name Abednego. Daniel decided not to make himself unclean by eating the king's food and drinking his wine. So he asked the chief officials for a favor. He wanted permission not to make himself unclean with the king's food and wine. God had caused the official to be kind and friendly to Daniel. But the official refused to do what Daniel asked for. He said, "I'm afraid of the king. He is my master, and he has decided what you and your 3 friends must eat and drink. Other young men are the same age as you. Why should he see you looking worse than them? When he sees how you look, he might kill me." So Daniel spoke to one of the guards the chief official had appointed over him, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Daniel said to him, "Please test us for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat, and give us only water to drink. Then compare us with the young men who eat the king's food. See how we look. After that, do what you want to." So the guard agreed. He tested them for 10 days. After the 10 days, Daniel and his friends looked healthy and well fed. In fact, they looked better than any of the other young men who ate the king's food. So the guard didn't require them to eat the king's special food. He didn't require them to drink the king's wine either. He gave them vegetables instead. God gave knowledge and understanding to these 4 men. So they understood all kinds of writings and subjects. And Daniel could understand all kinds of visions and dreams. The 3 years the king had set for their training ended, so the chief official brought them to Nebuchadnezzar. The king talked with them. He didn't find anyone equal to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So they began to serve the king. He asked them for advice in matters that required wisdom and understanding. The king always found their answers to be the best. Other men in his kingdom claimed to get knowledge by using magic, but the answer of Daniel and his friends were 10 times better than theirs. Daniel served in Babylon until the first year of Cyrus ruled over the land of Babylon. Cyrus was king of Persia. Let us remember, beloved, that God gave knowledge and understanding to these 4 men, and Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and he will give it to us on today. Be blessed.